Hi everyone, and welcome to the final week of Unit 1. For the last week of this unit, you're going to be having to complete the Unit 1 exam and finishing up the discussion board. In the discussion board, make sure to have 2 peer responses. Let me go to the discussion board real quick. Make sure to have 2 peer responses of at least 1 paragraph in length. And make sure to focus on your initial post. Your initial post should contain 3 to 4 paragraphs. 5 points are going to be for having an in-text citation and APA formatting, and 10 points for answering the question in your content development. So you have the discussion board that's due this week, and you have your first unit exam. What I'd like to do is go through the study guide first and what you're going to see on the study guide. I would recommend downloading the study guide and asking me if you have any questions on it. I'm more than willing to assist. You'll notice that it's going to be over chapters 1 through 5, and it's going to be basic discussion questions. Okay? It's going to be multiple choice, and here are some of the concepts it's going to be facing right here. Some of the various concepts. So let's go over the exam. So make sure to look at that study guide. If there's anything that you want me to go over on that, please let me know, because I can easily able to assist. Alright, let me preview it right here for you. Make sure to note that you have 1 attempt and 1 hour and 15 minutes to take it. When you start it, you have to complete it at that point. I'm not going to go over every question, but I'll go over most of the questions and some of the concepts or some of the things that I'm looking at. You'll notice that there's going to be 50 questions. No such thing as a free lunch. It's looking at the opportunity cost. You have to give up something to get something. Make sure on question number 2 you focused on the highest alternative. A rational decision maker only makes decisions that make him better off, I should say. This one's looking at the trade-off between unemployment and inflation. Living standards, looking at public policy, higher living standards. Question 8, looking at more that's being produced, is going to have higher living standards in a country. Question 9 is going to be the circular flow diagram. Looking at the flow of goods and services. So where do households buy things where firms supply them? Question 10 is looking at the spending. So where does households spend money on the things that they purchase? Question 11 looks at transactions. So where do I get money for working? Households supply their services, firms pay them. Question 13 is looking at the production possibility frontier, focusing on the concept of opportunity cost. What do you give up to get? Question 14 is looking at the shift or economic growth that occurs. Question 13 is looking at the economic growth that occurs now in both goods. Microeconomists looking at how individuals and businesses make decisions. Question 17 is looking at the difference between a positive and normative statement. Question 18 is looking at only Perry's production, one opportunity cost of a novel. So if I want to consume one novel, how many poems do I have to give up? Question 19 is looking at Perry and now one poem. So for me to consume one poem, how many novels do I have to give up? Question 20 is looking at Jordan and the opportunity cost to consume one poem. Well, how many novels do I have to give up? Question 21, absolute advantage is looking at who produces more. Question 22, the comparative advantage. Whoever has the comparative advantage is the one that has the lower opportunity cost, so they give up less resources to produce a good or service. 23, Jordan should specialize in the thing that they have the opportunity cost in. What do they have the opportunity cost, or whoever has the lower opportunity cost is the one that has the comparative advantage. Question 25, trade makes everyone better off. So remember, future demand, that's different than current demand. The thing that will not shift the demand curve for 29 is the price of gasoline. Question 30, an inferior good is a good when my income increases, I buy less, or when my income decreases, I buy more. Focus on income level and my consumption. .33, 33, focus on the factors of supply. Equilibrium quantity and price right here. It's where they intersect. If the price is $25, you notice that supply will be 800. 500 is how much people want. Price is $10. 800 people want it. 200 units are on the shelf. If the price is $20, you notice that there's 600 people that want it at that amount, 300 non-members that want it at that amount, and there's only 600 units available. So you want to add those two up. Now, on this question, make sure not to focus on the determinants of demand. Sorry about that. It's not going to the next question here. Let's see here. So the greater the elasticity, the larger the change in quantity demanded. Whereas if it's inelastic, there's going to be a very small change in the quantity demanded. So those are the questions that you're going to be focused on. Please make sure to take it by the due date, and if you have any questions, please let me know, but I look forward to your reference.